Lord, by galactic law, each species must either submit their champion or formally acknowledge the Chronaxian Empire as their superiors. The chamber fell silent. He had us there. That particular law was written into the original Galactic Charter, right between no weaponizing black holes and please stop teaching AI to feel love. The founders had apparently thought it would prevent wars by channeling aggression into individual combat, which, now that I think about it, might explain why they're not around anymore. President Nixitara's glow dimmed slightly. Very well. By ancient law, the challenge is recognized. All species have one standard cycle to present their champions. I raised my hand again. Quick question, does Earth get a handicap since we're new to the whole galactic community thing? Maybe start with arm wrestling and work our way up to mortal combat? The terms are set, Cathor roared, and with a dramatic flourish of all four arms, he activated some kind of teleporter and vanished in a flash of light. Through the new hole in the ceiling, I could see one of our 3 moons beginning to rise. The one that wasn't actually a moon, but a giant Chronaxian battle station they'd parked in orbit as soon as they'd arrived. Real subtle, those guys. I pulled out my communicator to call Earth's Defense Council, then paused to grab one last mini quiche. Hey, no sense facing a potential diplomatic crisis on an empty stomach. Besides, I had a feeling Earth's response to this challenge was going to be interesting, and it always is. You'd be surprised how hard it is to explain to Earth's military leadership that no, we can't just send a tank into an alien gladiatorial arena. Even if we put googly eyes on it. Even if we put lots of googly eyes on it. The emergency meeting to select Earth's champion had been going for 6 hours, and we'd made exactly 0 progress. The Joint Chiefs wanted to send a Special Forces operator. The Science Division argued for an Olympic athlete, and one guy from marketing kept suggesting we enter a social media influencer because, think of the engagement metrics. I was about to suggest we just forfeit and accept our new 4-armed overlords when my personal communicator buzzed. The message was from an old friend who ran the physical education department at the Galactic Exchange Academy. Dex, just heard about the Chronaxian challenge. You need to meet someone. Which is how I found myself in the Academy's gymnasium at 3 a.m. Earth time, watching a 60-something woman in a tracksuit absolutely demolish a group of alien students at dodgeball. Hustle up, tentacles left, and you there with the compound eyes. Just because you can see in all directions doesn't mean you get to slack off on footwork. Penny Wilson hadn't changed much since she'd revolutionized interspecies physical education 5 years ago. Still had the same silver hair pulled back in a no-nonsense ponytail, the same bright orange whistle, and the same ability to make beings from across the galaxy drop and give her 20. Time out. She blew the whistle, causing several crystalline students to vibrate in harmony. Ambassador Murphy wants to talk to us about something. Everyone take 5, get some water. You too, Glixner. I know your species absorbs moisture from the air, but that's no excuse to skip hydration breaks. As the students dispersed, Penny jogged over to where I was standing. Dex! Still keeping the galaxy from imploding? Barely. Nice moves out there. I see you've refined your throwing technique. She grinned. Had to. These kids keep evolving new ways to dodge, but something tells me you're not here for a parent-teacher conference. I explained the situation, the challenge, the stakes, the very real possibility that humanity was about to become the galaxy's laughingstock. Penny listened, occasionally nodding, while absently spinning a dodgeball on one finger. So, I finished, we need someone to represent Earth in what will probably be a horrifically one-sided combat against a being who can bench press a small moon. Sounds fun. Penny caught the ball. When do we start? I blinked. I'm sorry, what? Oh, come on, Dex. You wouldn't be here if you didn't think I was the right person for the job. Besides, I've been looking for a chance to test out some new training techniques. Penny, this isn't like organizing the Inner Ring Sports Day. Cathor is, well, remember that video of the Chronaxian who accidentally sneezed and created a new canyon on Mars? That was Cathor? That was Cathor's infant cousin. She shrugged. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. That's not just a saying, you know. It's physics. I looked at the woman who'd somehow gotten a class of Hickslerian floating gas clouds to successfully complete a three-legged race. "You're serious about this?" "Absolutely. Besides," she picked up another dodgeball, "I think it's time the galaxy learned about some traditional Earth games." The way she said it sent a chill down my spine. I'd seen that same gleam in her eye right before she introduced the concept of Red Rover to a group of silicon-based life forms. 20 minutes later, I was making the call to Earth's Defense Council. "Good news! We've found our champion." "Excellent." The general's voice crackled over the comm. "What are their combat qualifications?" "Well, she's got 30 years' experience in tactical operations." "Perfect. Special forces?" "Elementary school gymnasium." The silence that followed lasted approximately forever. "Ambassador Murphy," the general said slowly, "are you suggesting we send a gym teacher to fight the galaxy's most powerful warrior?" Behind me, Penny was organizing her alien students into teams for something she called Capture the Flag, Extreme Edition. "Trust me, sir." I watched as a 9-foot-tall arachnoid youth learned about the concept of jailbreak the hard way. "I think we might be sending something far more terrifying." The Chronaxian media was having what humans would politely call a moment. They'd been prepared for all sorts of champions from Earth. Maybe a hulking super soldier, or a cybernetically enhanced warrior, or at least someone who didn't wear Velcro shoes for convenience. Instead, they got Penny Wilson, who spent her first press conference explaining the importance of proper stretching. "Your species' exoskeletons are impressive," she told a group of baffled reporters. "But how's your flexibility? Can't build a warrior culture if you can't touch your toes. Now everyone on the floor, we're doing warm-ups." To their credit, the Chronaxian journalist tried. There's something both hilarious and deeply concerning about watching 2-ton warrior journalists attempting to do jumping jacks. The resulting tremors registered on seismographs 3 systems away. Cathor, meanwhile, was conducting his own media tour. Each day brought new demonstrations of his incredible strength. He lifted spacecraft, he wrestled giant beasts, he opened really tight jar lids without running them under hot water first. Penny's response was to organize an interspecies game of Red Rover. "The key," she explained to me as we watched a chain of alien children successfully prevent a charging Jovian gas beast from breaking through, "is teamwork. Also proper grip strength, but mostly teamwork." The Chronaxian betting pools were going crazy. The odds against Earth started at 1,000,000 to 1, then got exponentially worse when someone recorded Penny taking a nap during what was supposed to be her training period. "Power naps are essential for peak performance," she'd mumbled when asked about it. "Also, I was up late grading papers. Do you know how hard it is to evaluate proper push-up form for a species with variable numbers of limbs?" The Galactic Council was in a state of constant panic. President Nixitara kept sending me increasingly desperate messages. "Are you certain about this champion? Perhaps we could find a loophole in the ancient laws. Is there any chance your species has a secret army of super soldiers you've been hiding? Please tell me she at least knows how to throw a punch." I forwarded all of these to Penny, who responded with a single message. "Tell them to bring snacks to the match. Healthy ones. Nobody performs well on an empty stomach." The day before the match, Cathor made his final media appearance. He destroyed a small moon, like literally punched it into space dust. The footage was broadcast across every channel in the galaxy. When reporters rushed to get Penny's reaction, they found her teaching a group of young Chronaxians how to play hopscotch. "Oh, that?" She glanced at the replay of lunar destruction playing on a nearby screen. "Very impressive. But you know what's really hard? Getting 20 kids to line up quietly. Now who wants to learn about the parachute game?" The reporters watched in horror as the mighty warrior children of the Chronaxian Empire squealed with delight at the sight of a rainbow-colored piece of fabric billowing in the air. That evening I found Penny in the academy gym setting up what looked like an obstacle course designed by a mad scientist. "You know," I said, "everyone thinks you're either completely insane or the greatest strategist in human history. Why not both?" She adjusted a jump rope that had been modified to withstand high-gravity conditions. "Besides, tomorrow isn't about proving who's strongest." "It's not?" Nope. She blew her whistle, summoning her student assistants.